Hello everyone, and welcome to another Doctor Who review with me, John Parker, and...
Me, Jack Howling, and...
Me, Cody Chronotis.
Right, so we are at episode 4, Arachnids in the UK. The one episode I think we can all agree with that is going to keep us awake at night. Or, more importantly, if any of us are about to step into the shower anytime soon. Cody, I'm referencing you there a little bit.
Please no. Please.
Make sure you check for spiders in the bath.
Crap, will
Yes.
kill you.
Or anyone that comes up the plug hole, because, you know. But then again, it was a giant spider, so I don't think we're going to have any
That level,
issues there. So the Doctor and her companions return to the present day, only to then soon discover that the whole of Sheffield, it wasn't so much the UK that had the issue, it was more like Sheffield. I think the title of the episode kind of overkilled it a little bit, because it wasn't so much Arachnids in the UK, it was more like the Arachnids in Sheffield. So it wasn't so much in the UK, just one specific location.
Arachnids in Sheffield sounds like some kind of really terrible film.
Yeah, I suppose so. So I suppose the UK does kind of a better ring to it, but yeah, no, that's true. That is true. So this gigantic spider problem that Sheffield's currently experiencing, for once, it's not actually alien related. If we manage to pick that up, it's actually more of a human error. I like the reference they had with the whole toxic waste damaging the planet, which of course is an ongoing issue at the moment globally in real life, and they kind of I feel like they threw that into the mix a little bit, just kind of not so much raise awareness, but they kind of spun a bit of a scientific a science fiction kind of spin on it a little bit, if you see what I'm getting at. So turning what we believe will soon be a global disaster into a science fiction spin, which I thought was quite interesting, to be honest, because rather than going from an alien related episode, we've now gone to more of a human related issue, and that issue being that this toxic waste caused the spiders to grow enormously. Well, it was the disposal of living spider carcasses that were being tested on or experimented on, along with toxic human waste, that caused many other spiders to grow and have their behaviour change in such a way that they had no idea what they were actually doing. They never actually... Well, they did kill people, and they never ate them, but they did kill them, I think, through suffocation of the webs, I assume.
That or venom, or... Because technically all spiders have venom, it's just that they can't pierce our skin. So I assume those ones could, and they must have injected them with venom, being at that size, you know.
That's true, they could do. But I mean, by the size, not the size, but because of how much web they produced, I assume that if you cover someone's face with that much web, you know, they're not going to breathe, and it's that strong, you're not going to tear it away.
It's going to suffocate you, yeah.
So that's kind of the gist of the episode. It was quite a generic storyline, quite an interesting one, to be honest. There's not really much else you can kind of piece together with this. The episode itself, obviously the return of the companions being the present day. Of course, Graham is still getting over the loss of Ryan's nan, Grace, and they're all trying to adapt and get used to, you know, a normal living of life after meeting the Doctor. So
it's nice that they've brought the actor back, the actress back,
to kind of deal with the grief.
Yeah, it's also it also helps make her actually have a bit more of a part in the show. But it's actually true, because some people do hallucinate, or at least they imagine. You know, if they're really dealing with a lot of grief.
Yeah, that is true. So yeah, it was quite a nice generic episode. Of course, the main villain, if you want to kind of throw a villain into this, was mainly the hotel owner, because he was the main cause for all this, whether it was intentional or non-intentional, because he didn't really care about the side effects anyway of what was happening underneath the hotel.
I think they were trying to make the point that he's or like an exaggerated form of Trump, possibly.
Yeah, there was that kind of spin on it, even though he did kind of say that he
didn't like Trump,
like Trump or anything like that. But yeah, so perhaps a bit of a political jibe there, perhaps. Yeah. But no, I thought overall it was a quite a interesting generic storyline.
It was actually not bad. The graphics are
bad.
perfect. The visual effects.
It was good. It was good.
Those spiders are very realistic.
Yes, and of course, for the first time ever in Doctor Who, going with visual effects, we actually saw
The vortex.
multiple time tunnels.
Yeah.
So rather than going one straightforward one, forwards for future, backwards for past, or red for was it red for future, blue for past in the in the reboot? Yeah. So we've now got multiple different vortexes for different times, different.
And
even
as a few
different
of our
universes.
friends suggested, could also be multiple universes, as you just said. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no reason to suggest that. To not suggest that, although the TARDIS doesn't really like going to parallel
Multiple
universes.
Yeah.
Overall, the one thing I have to kind of point out a little bit is the Doctor. I'm finding her character, or at least her generation at the moment, a bit too over the top.
She's like it's like David Tennant's character mixed with Matt Smith. It's like she's trying. It's like she's acting as if she still doesn't know how she's supposed to act. And remember, that is what she said. She said that she's still not quite sure of herself.
That's
true. That's what they're getting at there. Like she doesn't know how she's supposed to act, so she's still processing that part of it.
But I mean, we are in the fourth of the 10. The fourth episode of 10. So
yeah,
it's about time she kind of managed to.
It might also be a little bit of an excuse, perhaps, to allow Jodie to experiment a bit with her acting, and then when the next series comes along, she'll have a much more flatline way of acting.
Perhaps. I mean, what's your take on that, Cody?
No, to be honest, I think she's rather good. I mean, she's not absolutely fantastic, but she's also not terrible.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It was the introduction to Yazzy's family where I kind of picked that up the most, where she was really going like crazy. But then again, nerves, her own social anxiety, if you want to put that in there, which I suppose you can kind of forgive. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I even though I found the story of this episode pretty interesting and good, at the same time, when you look back at it, it was kind of a very linear storyline. And
the ending was very underwhelming. Oh yeah, we'll just shoot it.
Yeah, it was kind of more of an abrupt ending, to where they then just cut to the very end and then just go off on their travels. They make the decision and go and travel with the Doctor permanently. Yeah, I don't know, a bit of an abrupt end there, like you said, but no, I thought overall it was pretty decent. I enjoyed it.
Any further comments, Cody?
I've been thinking about a plot hole that I think I may have picked up on.
Ooh, go on. I love this.
So the webs were supposedly so strong
that
nobody could rip them, yeah?
Yep.
Right.
Explain to me, yes, I understand that Time Lords do have enhanced strength. Explain to me how the Doctor could just tear open the one over the person's face to see who they were, but when they were faced with the one covering the door, she didn't do the same thing.
That's a fair point.
I assume they did eventually have to do that, because how did they get out?
Yeah.
That is a fair point.
Like, if you've got the strength to do that, why do you not just do that, pop outside, work out what you're going to do, then come back? To me, that makes more sense.
Yeah, no, that is true. There have been at least one or two plot holes in the series so far, I think, haven't we?
Yeah, a little bit of rushed storylines, some plot holes. It's a little bit weak in some areas, really strong in other areas.
Yeah.
To me, for now, I think I'll just put it as my excuse I'm going to use is they're still getting their footing because it's a whole new crew.
Oh,
but I'm hoping by next series they've worked out some of their flaws.
To be fair, personally, it's nothing I'm worrying about at all, because I think at the moment yes, it is kind of like going up, down, up, down, up, down, but I think Chris Chibnall was doing his very best to kind of keep it stable and a stable
So some of
line.
the changes it's made are absolutely fantastic. The production quality is beautiful. I think their budget has gone up because there is no way this would have been.
Probably
It
has.
wouldn't have looked like this in 2005. So I think the BBC have thrown a bit of money at them, which is a good thing. They deserved it.
Definitely. So, shall we go to our verdicts?
Mm-hmm.
So, John, out of 10, what will you give this episode?
I thought it was a fantastic episode. The the production quality on the visual effects is superb. It wasn't too frightening because you could guess kind of when jump scares were going to happen. Although that big one coming out the bath was quite a scene. But no, good episode. Slightly underwhelming ending. A little bit rushed in some parts, but I think I'll give it. 7.5.
7.5, okay. And Cody, what would you give out of 10?
I see. My opinion on this entire episode is completely ruined by the fact that I fucking hate spiders. Right?
You're not the only one,
Like,
mate. You're not the only
I
one.
was sat watching when some of those spiders were coming up. I'm like, no, God, no, Jesus.
Fair play to Ryan for jumping on top of that one. I wouldn't
Yeah.
even gone near it with that.
I mean, other than the fact that they made the spiders very convincing and fucking terrifying, which means they did a good job. I actually quite enjoy this episode because I think they did a very good job, and I disagree with the media reviews team where they're like, "Oh no, it gets really bad at the end," because I think it stayed like I think it was a very solid episode right the way through. So I am going to give it an 8.5.
8.5, awesome. Yeah, for me, it was quite a linear storyline, which is not a problem. I actually quite like that. Straight to the point, which I have to admit is a pretty good thing compared to other episodes we've had, like with Stephen Moffat and all that. Strictly to the point. Loved it. The effects, fantastic. Characters, again, not too bad. The Doctors, I'm still working out on that one on a little bit. But now, overall, I thought it was a very interesting and creepy episode. Saying that, I'm just looking at my window right now because it is actually wide open.
I don't have to check the house now, just to make sure. Because I can't stand them.
Run, Jack, run!
No, I think actually it's perfectly fine. Yep,
We've had a load
good.
outside our house laying eggs. So I'm going to push them
Don't.
off.
Why would you say that?
Don't.
Get out. Get out.
So for me, I'm going to give it an 8. Yeah, solid 8. Okay, so that is the end of our review, folks. I do hope you're going to sleep easy tonight. This video is actually going to be released on the Monday. You'll be watching it on the Monday because I can't edit tonight for other reasons. So I do hope you sleep easy. I hope you have slept easy, and we will see you in the next review. So until then, see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Thank you, folks, for watching. If you enjoyed, do please leave a like or comment below on this video.
If you want more, on Jack's side is the last video and the recommended video that we've suggested to you.
To stay tuned for more, on John's right is the link to our channel so you can subscribe, and also we have a link to our website if you want more information about who we are and what we do. Until next time,
Take care, stay safe.
and remember,
Let your
geek
geeky side out. Bye-bye, guys.